quiero pedirle al equipo de producción que por favor nos ponga a nuestro invitado especial el día de hoy, el que sí tenemos en remoto pero en vivo, nuestro queridísimo amigo de la tribuna, Steve Alain Lawrence, quien no solamente es el CEO de una compañía que se llama Balfour Capital Group, sino que lo quise traer el día de hoy porque muchos de ustedes le lanzaron piedra when Steve, give me one second, I'm going to tell them en español. Cuando él dijo, hay que comprar los Estados Unidos va en alza. Steve se jugó su nombre y ha estado claro en todo este proceso cuando estábamos por allá abajo, donde efectivamente nadie apostaba a la economía. Steve, how are you? How you doing? Thank you for coming to our tribune and tell us now what to expect with this bond dilemma where you see the obviously the yields going up a little bit, but also the stocks are coming up as well, and we don't know what to do. Tell us, please. Thank you for coming, Steve.
Well, like always, Victor, it's a pleasure to speak to you and your global audience globally. I think one of the things that you need to really understand right now and what you're seeing in the market is that there aren't many places to put your money. Okay, so therefore the market is actually telling you, all right, that we're going higher. Regardless of what my predictions have been, and definitely coming on the show before and telling you that these things could potentially happen, but the facts and the data is telling you that, and that's just that simple. The geopolitical events are now starting to manifest themselves in such a way where the public is starting to really understand that it's just another story and we're going to go on to the next step, okay, with the new economies that are being created globally. And we see that there are new economies being created, literally new businesses that are being created. And I truly believe that the public is starting to realize that and seeing it.
Steve, remember back in the days, actually in our first interviews that we did with you when we launched the extension of the Cierre of Wall Street from Negocios TV America, you told us about China. And basically, I know that you are very, up to some point, linked with what's happening in Asia. Actually, you're going to travel to Singapore because your firm also have operations in Asia and you're going to entertain something there. What do you think about China? Because obviously there is a lot of, people telling us that we're also supposed to allocate, that it will be some sort of agreement at the end of the day. What do you think about that economy that actually lowered the interest rate on Sunday and probably it will be a more a stimulus to make sure that the economy is growing?
Let me just say this to you. I'm a systemic bull on China based on two factors. Number one, it's the pure size of the country. Number two, okay, the relationships between China and the U.S., it's not if they're going to be doing a transaction, it's how they're going to manifest the transaction. I've been saying that since I've been on this. They are really the conjoined twins. They're the ones who are really connected. The other parts of Asia, okay, like countries like Vietnam, have potential hyper long-term growth. Hyper. However, okay, it's a communistic country, but that doesn't mean that they won't open up. Okay, so the entire region itself, all right, there could be hyper growth in places like Vietnam, all right, where they're already manufacturing, for Lululemon. I mean, they have a very strong foothold in manufacturing. And you're going to see that that's going to have a long-term implication on all global markets. And this is what you're seeing right now.
Steve, do you think, Steve, we're going to speak, we're going to broadcast today what we spoke with Jim Bianco and Tom Lee at the Money Show at the Miami edition last week. Mm-hmm. A question to you. Both of them are telling us that any pullback should be a buying opportunity. And Bianco seems to be a little bit more cautious. Tom Lee seems to be more bullish. Then my question to you is, what do you think about the Bitcoin that today is again going into another record? and obviously a lot of people are nervous because of the speculative aspect of this little asset class. What do you think about that? And in the second part, what do you think about buying the market in any major pullback, if we have a pullback going towards the April lows?
Okay. That's not a good question. That's a great question. I think the viewers and the public needs to understand this globally. When you have two of the biggest titans in the world, the Honorable Paul Tudor Jones and Stevie Cohen, all right, from Point saying that we are going to potentially hit April lows. Okay, many times when they say that, what they're really saying to the public, and I'm not speaking for them, the volatility could be extreme on a pullback. Okay, and we have seen that. Okay, we've seen that happen time and time again. What's the answer to that? We will go higher. On any type of pullback, all right, you need to be cautious of what you buy. It's all about the quality of the asset of what you buy. And that's truly the bottom line. I mean, how many times have you seen where the market's gotten crushed and certain stocks have gone up? Yes. You're seeing that right now. I mean, look at Snow today. I mean, it is taken off. All right. Why? Because they're in the right business and they've been able to demonstrate that it's truly about the enhancement of technology. So that whole new economy is happening right now. All right. And it's a race about, who can get in as quickly as possible. So to answer your question is this. We will go higher. When you buy the selective pullback, you need to know what you're buying. It's like any other business, because the market can rally. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going higher. And as far as the Bitcoin, okay, the Bitcoin is now establishing itself as a true asset class. All right, so people can use the Bitcoin in other alternative investments as hedges, because the product itself is maturing. Okay, so now you're seeing the relationship between Bitcoin, gold, and interest rates. Now, the flip side to that is that the extreme volatility shouldn't surprise you. Okay, as the price increases, it does become less liquid because it gets more expensive to buy. Okay, so it's, in theory, okay, I believe that the Bitcoin will easily rally to 130, 135, but at any given time, you could see it go down 6-7% in a heartbeat. So the moral to the story as an investor is own. If you're used to buying $10,000 or $100,000 worth of something, you buy, $3,000 worth of something. Okay, and I think that is the absolute basis of being successful in the market long term. There is a level of timing, but nobody can time anything perfectly. That's a fact.
Steve, thank you very much. I really appreciate your participation today. And obviously, before you leave, Steve lo que nos está diciendo es que, lo está diciendo él, el Bitcoin se puede ir a 130, 131, 135 para luego caer por los swings. Recuérdense que la última vez que tuvimos a Steve nos hablaba del mercado subiendo, el mercado no hizo eso directamente, pero después tuvo una subida enorme, así que prestemos la atención. Pay attention to what Steve Alain Lawrence is telling us about the Bitcoin. Steve, thank you very much. We'll get you back pretty soon, and hopefully we'll get you back before your, or probably from Asia where you are there, we might connect with you. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.